Hi everybody.
Hello. We're back again for another episode of
Debi's
It's been so long I don't
and
remember.
Laura's
Debi and Laura's Crochet and Crafts.
Crafts.
That's right. Been so long I forgot. I was trying to say DLYs, but no, that's...
Your other stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it has been a while, but I don't have everything that I've done. Just a few things here that I'm doing now. And Laura has...
I haven't really done much either. I was busy from, late September until December doing Christmas gifts, which were
Those are the
coasters.
ones she gave to me and Bobby and Vince.
That's for Vince.
Well, it's R for Robert, so...
And D for Deb. I'm going to put the pink on the back for her. And black for his. And Robert. And black for his.
And we keep those on our dining room table here.
Right.
So we can put mine there, and then I'll take the other and put them back.
Okay. And then I made, for each of my nieces and my other sister and my best friend and everybody coasters. That's what I was doing, so I couldn't show none of that. But then I also made this. It's something I made for Erica to put up on the wall in Sammy's bedroom.
But I asked Erica if I could have it, because I put it on the wall here where Sammy's playpen is.
Right. And I made another one for my best friend Joni, whose daughter, her name is Gianna, but we call her Gigi. So
you made her one too?
Yeah, Gigi.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yep. So that's all I did. Nothing else. And then of course, which I'll get to telling you about it later, but I did a lot of reading.
Well, you can tell it now if you want.
No, do yours first, because it might take too long.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I like to talk.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll put that there. Speaking of books, I went to the Dollar Tree yesterday and I found this. It's called Knit Fast, Die Young. And I read the back of it, and it sounds kind of interesting. There's some lady named Ariadne. How do you pronounce that?
Ariadne.
I've never heard of that, but yeah, Ariadne Evans. She is like a part-time sleuth, I guess. It just happens. She owns her very own knitting shop and stuff like that. Maybe I should tell you the whole thing. It said, should I read it?
If you want, yeah.
Alright. Ariadne Evans swore her sleuthing days were over after her very own knitting shop became a crime scene a few months back. But she hadn't anticipated that the Freeport Wool and Yarn Festival would become the site of another murder, with hers truly as a prime suspect. Since Ari was the one to find the body of Felicia Barr, the much detested and influential owner of Knit It Up magazine, with a knitting needle stuck in her back. The cops are needling Ari for answers. Ari or Ari? Ari.
Ariadne. Alright, well, however you say the name.
Yeah. Well, remember Ari from NCIS?
Mm-hmm.
A-R-I, Ari.
Right, Ari.
Okay, so Ari it is. In a stitch, Ari dons her hand-knit detective cap and helps her on and off boyfriend, Detective Josh Pierce, untangle the day's events and solve a very woolly crime before the killer strikes again. Dun, dun, dun. And like I said, it's Knit Fast, Die Young, and not bad for $1. Yeah. So I'm going to try to read this, because the last book I got from let me go get that real quick.
my books are only like historical romances. I don't get into really anything nowadays, these times.
This book I had bought from the dollar store, Dollar Tree, a while ago. I hadn't even read it yet. It's called Knit the Season, and it's by Kate Jacobs. Haven't even opened it.
Mm-mm.
I used to read a lot, but I don't know.
I go through spats. You know, if I get into like one book, and it's so good, next thing you know, I'm like reading and reading and reading all the time.
Yeah. Well, I used to read a lot, and I'd stay up late, you know, like 2 or 3 in the morning. That wasn't good, you know.
Well, you know myself at the campground.
Yeah.
I stayed up till like 5:30 in the morning reading.
And then sleep half the day.
Nuh-uh. I got up at like 8:30.
Oh, okay.
But then again, I fell asleep very early too.
Yeah.
So.
So also yesterday, I went to Tuesday morning. I was going to check out, see if they have some new yarn there. And they did, but it was not any kind of yarn that I wanted. But I found this book, and it's from American Crafts, and it's called a Journal Trend Pad. But it's pretty cool. Oh, I only spent $5.99 on it. $5.99. But it's pretty neat. It's got all different kinds of, well, each page is different papers, different prints. You can't see them. This one is even a envelope.
Huh.
Yeah, so I'm going to use this as a photo album instead of a journal. I don't journal, but see?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They're all different kinds of different pages.
And a whole bunch of, like every
The
5 pockets?
Yeah, I think something like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool for $5.99.
Yeah, that is.
Like I said, I'm going to use it for a photo album. And that was all I bought from Tuesday morning.
It's like scrapping, but it's already done for you. You just
Yeah.
got to put photos on.
Yeah, that's true. Like scrapbooking.
Yeah.
This one, does that stay in? Yeah, I guess it does. You put
Maybe.
one picture right there in the
That would be
middle.
a good idea.
Yeah. And one over here, or writing or something.
Yeah.
Like explain what the pictures are. Geez. So many things, I don't know where to start. Well, I'm making another plastic canvas sleeve.
Is that for this?
Yeah, for this. Yeah, there we go. I have little buttons in there. I'm going to put buttons on top of here when I'm done. But of course, you know, I make it go around. It's a sleeve. Except like the other ones, this one is not as wide or as deep.
Right.
Yeah, long. But yeah, put little buttons on there.
I forgot to bring it over, but I have another one of Daryl's.
The big ones?
Yeah, I forgot to bring it with me.
Alright. Oh, that's okay.
So next time you come, remind me to, or you can get it. It's on top of the fridge.
Oh, okay. Alright. So that's all I'm doing in plastic canvas. And, you know, this has been a long time that we haven't made a video because my birthday, the end of November, is my birthday, November 26th. And I know it's like around, there's a lady, a very nice lady I watch, her name is Jan. And I think her birthday is November 25th.
Right.
Because I always...
Happy
I
birthday.
I don't know why I even thought of that, but yeah, so for my birthday, Erica and the boys gave me a gift card to Joann's. Now, Joann's is up in Annapolis, and I don't drive to Annapolis, so it's kind of tricky to get there, unless I get my husband to take me, and then I'm always thinking, oh, I gotta hurry up, I gotta hurry up, gotta hurry. I don't like that. So, I went on Joann.com, and I was able to use my gift card there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You didn't?
No.
Oh.
So that's pretty cool. There's a lot of things on the computer I don't know.
Hey, you rearranged your pictures.
Yeah, I did.
Looks nice.
Yeah.
I like that one
Thanks.
right there.
Yeah, that's ribbon.
That you put on there yourself,
Yeah.
or did it come? Because it looks really nice.
Yeah, I did that. But for my birthday, that Erica and the boys gave me the gift card, I bought this. It's Red Heart Comfort. 12 ounces.
That's a big steam.
I know it is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? They don't have a name for,
The color.
yeah. It just says L14. That doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't.
But it's turquoise and aqua and white. You know, it's pretty.
Mm-hmm. It is.
But like I said, it was it's 12 ounces. So I bought that one and this one. And, well, you know what? That's not the number of it.
It's not the name of
No,
the
it
color?
says L14. That's not it, because this one says it too.
I wonder why it doesn't have a name on
I
it.
don't know. But then it says 4050. Maybe that's the number.
Yeah.
This one is 4142.
Hmm.
But this is also 12 ounces. And with this one, I am making,
Oh, that's pretty.
thank you, a blanket. It's slow going because for some reason I'm losing my mojo, crojo or whatever the heck they're called. But yeah, so I do it like about a round or two a night.
You know what I would call that?
What?
Orange sherbet.
Oh yeah,
You know
that
ice
could-
cream?
Yeah.
How it has some white in with it?
Well, it's got
orange
pink
cream.
in it though.
Yeah, but you really can't see it.
Oh.
But it looks like that orange sherbet
Yeah.
ice cream with the white mixed in with it.
That's
the cream.
my favorite.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's my favorite. And this pattern is called Simply Pretty, and it is on my blog, DLY's Hooks and Yarns. And if you wanted to go there and get it, just up in on the right sidebar, there is labels, and under labels, click on pattern, and that's all my free patterns. But if you didn't want to do all that, just search for Simply Pretty, and it'll come up. And that's it for that. Oh, no, I also got this from Joanne.com with my birthday money. Isn't it cute?
That is cute. What is that? To stab it with your needles? Keep your
It's,
needles in?
Well, you probably could. But it's a little sheep. Pull his tail.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Isn't that cute?
That is cute.
Pull his tail. But yeah, I thought that was so cute. It's a little sheep.
That is adorable.
Yeah. Well, somebody crocheted that. I bet you. Yeah, that's bad to say. Yeah. But they probably, the person that did this probably got paid 2 cents or something.
I don't know.
That's terrible. But yeah, so those 2 yarns and this is my birthday money. See, because I never would have bought this on my own.
Right.
Because it's $10.
$10 for
Yeah,
that? Oh,
yes.
yeah, I wouldn't have bought it either.
Yeah, I know. Because I've been looking at it and looking at it and looking at it. I said, nah, I can't do that. But I figured, well, hey, that's my birthday money, so I did. So yeah. And what else? Okay, another project I'm working on is this. This is my mood blanket. And every evening I do 1 square. Because I'll pick one of the moods that I was in during the day. Like the most dominant mood, I guess. You know, because, you know.
This be pink. What does pink mean?
Pink is happy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So pink is happy. So there should be more pinks than usual, but like green, that means I was sick. I think.
Okay.
I have to go get my list.
Which one means you're mad?
White.
Oh. I'll have to ask you before I come over to visit if you'll show me your mood blanket first.
No, I do that
Show
at
me
night.
the last one you made.
Yeah, white means irritated. Yeah, green means I was sick. Which, thankfully, is not too many greens. Is there another one in there?
Not that color green, no.
No.
Oh, right, yeah, right there.
Yeah, another green. Right here. Well, the thing is, see, it's green.
Oh, okay.
I'm using,
Different
instead of
color
using,
greens.
yeah, because if I just did one pink, one blue, one green, you know, that would be kind of, so I'm using different, like pinks,
Oh, okay.
different shades. They both mean happy. They're just different shades.
Okay.
And,
Different color greens.
yeah, like I have different shades of the blue. It's all shades.
Okay.
And this, of course, is 1 square a day for the whole year. So,
Looks nice.
yeah, I like it.
I like the ones with solid colors. It looks better.
Then my variegated?
Well, the variegated one looked pretty, but that one looks really nice.
Yeah.
Solid colors.
Yeah. Well, thank you. But yeah, so there we go. It's going to take me all year to do it, but that's okay. It's only 1 square a day.
Yep.
And that's my list, so I remember. All shades. There we go. There's another project I'm working on, and it's a little poncho for Sam. And
She has been moving, but I'll let
she's
you know.
moving around. She might be waking up. But yeah, so I ran out of yarn, so I had to order another skein or another hank, and I had to get it from Knit Picks. Because this skein right here, the hank that I was using this with, I had bought off of Etsy. Somebody's doing like a D-stash. But I only had one, so I bought one, and it wasn't enough. So I had to order another one from Knit Picks, and that's coming in. But yep, that's for Sam.
Pretty.
It is kind of cute. And then like, I put it, she's laying down, so I put it up against her to see if it would be long enough, and it wasn't. She was smiling because she likes it. She likes her Yaya make stuff for her.
Yep.
And what else was I doing? Oh,
Yep.
I made a leg warmer. Just the one. So
Only
far.
one leg needs to be warm.
Well, no, because I'm doing it with this. And this thing, now, I've had it for a little while. And when I first got it, it worked good for a little bit. Then it started making a clackety-clack noise, and I fixed it. Then it's, you know, worked for a while. Then it started doing a clackety-clack noise again, and I said, okay, I ain't fixing it no more. It's obviously a piece of junk, and I couldn't take it anymore after I did this. It's just too noisy, clackety-clack, clack, clack, clack. I said, oh my gosh.
Gotta have to get her a pair of those ear things, put them in.
Actually, this is going to go in the trash.
Oh.
Because I can't give it to anybody because it does the clackety clack and then the teeth pop, they pop loose.
Right.
So it won't turn even though this turns. So it's a piece of junk. I'm going to throw it out. And I ordered another one. And it's like, it's on 4 legs and it, you know, like the Addy style or the Innovations that I have, the bigger Innovations one, it's on legs, and so hopefully the one that I ordered will be better and I can fix the other leg warmer up. Because if not, what am I going to do with that?
Someone's going to be awfully
Make a
cold. At least one leg will be.
Yeah, I can make a headband with it.
There you go.
Stretch the heck out of
Or
it.
you can like cut a hole into it and make it an arm thing.
Yeah, but that goes way up the arm. It'd be fancy.
Yeah, but you know, back in like 1700s Scotland, that's what they would do because they didn't make shirts with long sleeves.
Well, I know, but we're not in the 1700s.
Yeah, but it's coming back.
Oh, there you go.
It's coming back, or you can bunch it down like and just like if you're wearing a shirt that comes down to your elbow,
Yeah.
bunch it down and
Bunch it right there.
yeah.
Could be boxing gloves. Gotta
that
hide your
style
knuckles though,
kind
so
of
you
is
don't
coming back,
hurt your
and
knuckles.
I think that's because of Outlander too. A lot of people I saw on the Hooligans Facebook page
Yeah.
are knitting their own to wear, like, because Claire wears them.
What, you stick your thumb through it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they, crocheters.
You made me a pair. That's where I got
Yeah.
it. You know, I saw them, and then I saw the one I think you showed.
Oh, yeah,
And I said,
okay.
I like that. But that's because, and it was this color too, that the other people were doing. Because that's what color Claire wears.
Yeah. Okay.
From a book I read.
Yeah. Well, I have to keep that in mind in case I just want to be like Highlander or go around fighting somebody or something.
Claire doesn't go around fighting anybody. She heals people.
Oh, she does?
She's an army nurse medic
Hmm.
from 1945.
Yeah,
Or,
okay.
yeah, 45.
1945 or? I thought that.
40. No. She goes back in time to 1743, but she's from 1945.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think World War II had just ended.
Okay. Now, see, that's still like some weird stuff. How do people do like going back in time and
Well,
everything?
I don't know. I get into that, but I want to make sure you're finished first before I do any of that.
Before I finish
Yeah.
what?
All your
the
stuff.
I think that's it.
That's it?
I think so.
Okay.
Is there anything in that basket that looks like I'm working on it?
Nope.
No.
Not at all.
My little Petey Pete's still sleeping. I was going to show you her.
Well, while I'm talking,
If she
you'll
woke
probably,
up.
if she wakes up.
Mm.
Because I ain't going to be done right away.
Okay. Because Erica said I could put her on the video if she wakes up, so. Alright.
Okay, so Diana Gabaldon is the author of Outlander, which she said, how she puts it is, well, see, she was a college professor, I do believe, and I think she taught history. I'm not positive, but I think that's what it was. And she decided that instead, she didn't want to be doing that, you know, forever, and she was going to try to write a book, just one. So she wrote a book. Well, she wrote the book. She had to do a lot of, she said, well, if I'm going to do that, then I'm going to do it, like, what should I do it then? And she figured, okay, because she saw Doctor Who, and one of the episodes, he picks up a Scottish, Jamie, a Scottish boy from right after Battle of Culloden, or right before.
So
And
that's where she got that time traveling stuff from?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because
And
I don't mess with the, you know.
Time travel? I didn't
Yeah, I
either
don't do
until
all
I
that.
started reading this. Other than that, it was always historical romance, like things that happened, but it was based in like medieval England, Scotland in year 1055, you know, stuff like that. But never the go back in time stuff.
Yeah, and see, that's like science fiction stuff. I don't like the science fiction stuff myself. But like you said, yours is like, what did you say it was? Historical romance? Oh, okay. See,
Well,
that, and then she just added that into it.
Yeah, she had, it's historical romance. It's like, all right, she looked up, she figured if I'm going to do this, then I'm going to, you know, research everything so I can write these things in here and know exactly.
Do it the right way.
Do it the right way.
Yeah.
Plus have this relationship. So that's what she did, which is Claire Randall, who was married to Frank Randall. They were both in the Army. He was part of the M16. MI6? That's how they say it, MI6.
MI6?
MI6 or something. It's British Naval British Intelligence.
I saw that on NCIS too.
Yeah.
That one British guy, he was in the, it's like a Secret Service type thingy or something.
It's the same like a FBI.
Okay.
For, you know, but this is theirs for British. And he was drafted, you know, they were married and then they, I guess, on furlough because they found, you know, were dating or whatever. And they were going to go, British was going to war with Germany, you know, it was World War II or whatever. So they got married, and then, and she was a Army nurse medic, or however you say it, 1945 nurse.
Yeah, nurse.
Battlefield nurse or something like that. But they went their separate ways. And he came, you know, I-6, and they didn't see each other for like months at a time during the war, you know. So when the war finally ended, they decided to go on a second honeymoon to get to know each other more, or back to the way they were. And they decided to go to Edinburgh,
I think so.
Scotland,
Edinburgh. Yeah.
Edinburgh,
Like
right
that.
there not near Inverness. And so that's what they did. And he also is like a historian. He'd like to look up his genealogy chart and stuff like that. So that's what they were there for. And they even went to visit the Castle Pliac. Okay.
Okay, you're not going to tell like the whole book, right?
Well, I'm going to say how it happens.
Okay.
But anyway, so she made it historical.
Because we'll be here like a couple hours from now.
No, because there's 8 books. I would have to be.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
why
she's working on them. Like, thank God I did not start reading this 20 years ago. Because there's like 5 years in between books. Because she goes and she actually researches all this stuff as she's writing. And it takes like 5 years in between. And
That's a lot of time.
yeah, because a lot of her books end like things aren't completed. See, I like normally like a book to all the mystery is solved and love affair is, you know, and she'll leave it at the very end and it's like, what happened?
So then you have to wait 5 years for the next. Oh yeah, it's a good thing you didn't start.
Yeah, because I just started this summer. Because like I said, I wasn't into going back in time stuff, you know, until this. And the only reason why I am is because I saw it on Entertainment Tonight. They did an interview with Sam Heughan.
Is that Jamie?
Yeah.
The guy that you like?
I think it's so gorgeous.
It's Laura's boyfriend.
Hold on, I gotta show you.
Is this he better have some pants on.
Well, he doesn't, but you can't see it.
Jeez.
Lord, Deb.
It's Laura's
Such a
boyfriend.
prude.
Well, I didn't want you to show people's butts.
Well, you can't see his butt. You
Alright.
can't see nothing of it. He's got his hand
Alright.
covering it anyway.
Oh, for goodness sake, put your finger across the bottom of that.
You can see, he's got his hand there. I don't know if you can see, but that's Sam Heughan. He says Heughan. That's how Scottish is supposed to be said, but everybody calls him Heughan. That's him right there. He plays Jamie. How is it? James Alexander Malcolm Mackenzie Fraser. That's his name.
Laura thinks that's her boyfriend.
Yes, in my dreams.
Well, we can have boyfriends.
And he's it. Okay, so anyway, how was I getting to? Alright, so they go on this honeymoon.
They got all flustered.
I sure did.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, so they go on this honeymoon to get to know each other, and while they're there, he visits someone named Reverend Wakefield, who's helping him with his genealogy. And he tells Claire that, you know, about his great-great-great-great-grandfather named James, Jack Wolverton Randall. Then he was called Black Jack Randall. There's a reason for that. But that's supposedly his great-great-great whatever. So learn about that, and she learns a couple things about him, you know. He was in Scotland out of Fort William. He was like the head of them all. Anyway, so they do that, and then Mrs. Graham told them about how it was All Hallows Eve, and women would go up on the hill where rocks are called Craignadoon, and they would do a dance and sing. I can't remember what they called that. But anyway, so he decided he wanted to go up with Claire and watch them do that, and that's what they did. It was like at 5 minutes to 12, and they watched them dance and sing around, and then they left. And the next morning he was going to go back to the Reverend, and he said, and to, you know, do more genealogy. And she said, well, I saw a flower up at Craignadoon that I want to go back and get, because she's, you know, herbalist too, you know. So she goes up there to see it, and she starts hearing this like buzzing sound, and she walks up to the rock that's buzzing, and she puts her hands through it, and she like falls through time.
Yeah, I think she might have ate that flower and made her high and hallucinate or
Well,
something.
yeah, but in actuality, she fell through time, and she put it. And you know how, like in Star Trek movies, how it goes, you know, it was like they show how they in their car.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't
fade
show that.
away.
Yeah, and like on the series, which is what drew my attention after watching the entertainment thing. I decided, all right, I got to watch that, you know. Then I started reading the books. Debbie bought me the first, what, 4?
Really?
Down at the
Oh
campground.
yeah, that's right. Because they were like what, $1.99 or something. Yeah.
So that's what we did. I went and caught up on it. But anyway, so she falls through time, and it's not like I'm there. She said it felt like the one time she was in a car accident, how the car was turning over and over, and
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think she was hallucinating. I bet you that's what you're gonna find out what it is. She done ate that flour and made herself.
no, she didn't know. Because
No.
it goes on and on and on. It goes through the revolution, because they end up.
Oh, she's probably in a coma now.
She has children, or she has 2 children.
Okay,
One of them
never
dies
mind.
at birth.
Oh.
You know, that was right before the Battle of Culloden. And of course, you know, because she's pregnant with her second child, and the Battle of Culloden is getting ready to come down, you know. Jamie wants her, because he thinks he's going to die, because, you know, she already told him all the clans that go to that battle are wiped out. And then how all of the clans' life had changed afterwards. They weren't allowed to wear their tartans or their plaids. They weren't allowed to play the bagpipes. I mean, they were starved to death mainly, you know, after that. So he thought, well, I'm going to go try to save my men, and I'm going to die. And he wanted her to go back in time to make sure their child survived. So he takes her back to Doom.
Oh, and she
sends her
falls
back
through again. Okay.
Sends her back through time.
Huh.
And so she goes back through time, and she ends up, you know, stumbling into Inverness. And it's been 3 years since she left her husband.
Okay. How much longer you got to go on that one book? I thought you were going to talk about all your books.
I know, but Diana Gabaldon wrote 8 books.
I know.
8.
Do a synopsis of each one.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh.
Okay, well, so she goes through, she has the child, and her and Jamie are separated for 20 years. And that's you know, at the end of the first book is when she goes back through time. Oh.
Hi, baby.
And the second book is where she takes her daughter after Frank dies, because she's been married to the man for 20 years now.
Go ahead.
And Frank dies, so she takes her daughter and, you know, to Scotland. And there she's going to tell her about Frank not being her real father. How Jamie was, because she made a promise. Frank said, I'll raise her as my own and love her as my own. But as long as I'm alive, you're never allowed to tell her that I'm not her father.
Oh, okay.
So he gets killed in a car accident after an argument they had. And he dies.
Hi, baby girl. You're so pretty, yes you are. Look at that. You're so adorable.
Say thank you.
That smile. He's that pretty.
So is that the first book you're still on?
No, I'm on the second book now.
Oh, okay.
So she takes her to Scotland, and now Brianna has no idea that that's what they're there for. She just thinks that Mom wants to be like her father was, who was a historian, you know, and look up these people. And Claire had a list that she wrote down of all the clan members from Brock, which is Jamie's men under him, because he was the laird of Lallybrock. So she wrote all their names down, and a couple from Mackenzie too, and decided she already thought she knew Jamie's fate. He was dead. But she wanted to see what turned out with the rest of them. So she goes to Roger Wakefield, who is the adopted son of Reverend Wakefield, but he's actually his nephew, his great nephew. And he says, yeah, I'll help research. So that's what they do. They research these people, and they find out that these people did not die in the Battle of Culloden because they weren't there. So Jamie saved them.
Oh, okay.
He went back and got them and sent them away, but he stayed the battle. And So everything was going good, and then they decided to go. They found out that Black Jack Randall's grave was at a different church, which was right next to Dramosi Moor, which is Culloden. And Claire was like, I wonder why he was left there. Most people would bring their families home on the British side. So they go there to look at the old graveyard because nobody's been buried there for years. And as she's like walking through, and not too far off from Black Jack Randall's, she finds Jamie's.
His grave?
And of course, seeing the love of her life, because she said that he was her, how did she put it? He was already the breath and bone of her body and soul.
Oh, okay.
He was her heart. Frank was her husband, but Jamie was her heart and the breath and body of her body and soul.
Right.
So she freaked out, and she's like, oh my God, why is he here? Because, most of the poor people Scots that were in the Battle of Culloden, they were like, okay, here's this big hole, stick all the bodies in there and cover them up, and this is Clan Mackenzie.
Yeah.
They didn't do any of that stuff.
Hi, baby girl.
So that's how that happened. And then she ends up, because she's freaked out, and her daughter's like, Mama, what's wrong? And she tells her about her father. He's your real father. And of course, they're thinking she's like nuttier than a fruitcake. This is 1945, right? And over there, that's saying he died in 17, or whatever year it said. So they go back to the thing, and she tells the whole story, the whole love life of her and Jamie.
Yes.
Did she just yawn?
Yep.
Even though she just woke up. Yeah, you like your great Aunt Laura. You love to sleep, don't you?
See, I think she yawned because she's saying, Aunt Laura, hurry up.
And then, of course, at the end of the second book, I think it's Drums in Autumn.
She's steady looking at you too, ain't she?
Yep, she sure is. You like to, you want to go out and read the Outlander, don't you? Hold on.
Here, turn this way. Here. Oh, baby. Girl. We have to show you on the camera so everybody see my beautiful girl.
Okay, so then there was Dragonfly and Amber. That's the second book. At the end of it, they had gone and got a whole bunch of stuff, and they're looking through about different prisons in Scotland, because they found out Jamie actually was put in prison as a traitor. So they find out where he's at, and at the very end, she's like, I found him, and he's at, So, and he's like, well, do you want us to, and she's like, Mom, do you want to go back to him? So that's what they're doing in the third book, when she gets ready.
Yeah, I got a question. How does she go from back?
Okay, well, when she fell through, see, she fell through the first time, she was wearing her gold wedding ring to her husband. And that's another thing, too, another theory I have how this all happened. Because her husband, when they were on their honeymoon that night before he got into he saw a Scottish man leaning against a pillar, looking up at the end window, watching Claire brush her hair.
Okay.
And it was Jamie. But it was like his fletch, as the Scottish people say it, or whatever it was. It was him. But he was not really there, because when Frank said, excuse me,
and he was gone.
He went to turn and he brushed by real fast, but there was nothing there of him. And when he turned, he was gone. So, anyway, so what was I getting at? Okay, so she was wearing Frank's gold wedding ring. Now, when she married Jamie, he gave her a silver wedding ring.
Okay.
And back in the 1700s, when they wed, they believed that this ring finger on...
Yeah, it goes to your heart.
Right. Wait a minute. Hold on. That's where... Yeah. Which finger is it?
It's
No, it's
this
different. Is this the one you wear when you're married now?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the one where Jamie's is, because back then they thought it was different.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
she had on Frank's gold one when she fell through the first time.
Mm-hmm.
They think it's gems and precious gold or precious metal.
Mm-hmm.
So when he sent her back through the second time, she was wearing a gold one and a silver one. So that helped her go back through. and you supposedly you have to think of somebody in order to get to that person.
Oh, okay.
And the night before she fell through, he brought the subject up. When you were tending people, did you have men that took a liking to you?
Mm-hmm.
She was like, nah. And he told her about the man, you know.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to have to take a break. But first, you can see my granddaughter, Sam. Her name is Samantha. And I watch her during the day while Erica works.
What's her middle name again?
Faith.
Faith.
Yeah, Samantha Faith. Oh, big girl. She's a good baby. But we're going to take a break because I'm going to need to feed her. And we'll be back.
See you in a bit. Okay, I'm back again. I just wanted to finish up on what I was telling you last. Drums in Autumn, I think it is. Where, she decides that she's going to go back and they find Jamie anyway. So, and the next one, she goes to him. Voyager, which is my favorite book because of the reunion. And she goes to his printer shop that he's running under the name A. Malcolm, because his middle name's Alexander Malcolm Mackenzie. Anyway, so she goes there, and when she walks into the door, she sees him through the back door, and he's leaning over the printing press, and he's, fixing it, and he doesn't even bother turning around when he hears the ching ching of the door. He just says, "Jordy, are you back? Took you long enough?" And she says, "No, it's not Jordy. It's me, Claire." And he turns, and she says he has this look on his face, and she walks through the counter because the flap is up, and she walks up to him, and she says, she sees his nose. When did you break your nose? And he says, "About 2 minutes after I last saw you, Sassenach." And he's thinking that he's dreaming of her, because he's always, like, when he's been sick, been in prison or whatever, he's dreamt that she's there with him, but of course she never talks to him, never touches him, So he's kind of like in a freak out mode, and when she reaches up and touches his nose, he goes, "You're real!" And then he passes out. He fades right there. And so I don't know, it was nice. That reunion was beautiful. I mean, I'm not a person that like cries for everything. It does make you sigh and shiver. No, there are women that they cry throughout different parts of these books. I'm telling you.
Okay.
But anyway, so they get together and.
I guess that's you guys are the fandom. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's fandom. It's because there's been a lot of Outlander fans for 20 some years, I guess. But the problem is, not the problem, but what happened was Starz made the series, which created more fans.
Yeah. And
so they have like tons of fandoms, but I'm part of the Hewans Hooligans on Facebook. Yeah. And it's really...
That must be because I've heard of fandoms, and I know, okay, it's a bunch of fans. There you go.
Yeah, well, they got lots.
Yeah.
They got lots. Except for the Golden Globes.
The awards?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The one who plays Claire, her name is Katrina Balfe. She used to be a model, by the way. She won for Best Actress in a sci-fi drama.
Yeah, sci-fi.
Well, because there's different, But anyway, she won it. And Tobias Menzies, who plays Blackjack Randall / Frank, he won for being a supporting actor.
Okay.
But the one that really showed a wide range of acting. He's really, really good. He can do everything. That was poor Sam Heughan. He should have been nominated, and he wasn't even nominated. So that'll tell you they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And but he has won. They have won other awards.
Mm-hmm.
And he just won something. So I love the books. My favorite book is Voyager. But now I'm waiting on, because I just read the one they call Moby. Written in My Own Heart Blood, I think it's called. And that was the 8th book.
Hi, baby girl.
And she's right now writing the 9th one. So, and there's a lot of great secondary. Like Jamie and her had 2 children, like I said, and Faith, who she didn't get to name because, you know, she was sick with giving birth to her and everything. She died at birth, and Mother Hildegard was the one that buried her, named her, which was Faith. So her name was Faith Fraser. And then she had Brianna, who was named Brianna after Jamie's father. And but she didn't have any more children, and neither did he. But he did adopt, when they were in Paris, France, trying to thwart what was going to happen over in Scotland, you know, with Bonnie Prince Charlie. He hired a pickpocket, which was a 12-year-old little boy, to help him steal letters from couriers, you know, stuff like that. He ended up adopting him. And he becomes, his name was actually Claudel. Jamie tells him that wasn't a very manly name, so he changed it to Fergus. And he became Fergus Claudel Fraser. He became, you know, his son. And then, of course, he had the 2 girls through Leary that called him Da. And then his own daughter comes, you know, to them because she sees an article in the newspaper when she's like, she wants to make sure her mother got to her father and everything's alright. And she's looking through this stuff, and she sees an article in one of the papers that states how her parents died in a fire on Fraser's Ridge. And it says the year that was going to happen. So she decides she doesn't want to tell Roger. She decides to go back in time herself to get to them, to let them know this is what happens on this day, you know. So she ends up showing up. The first time she meets her father is out behind an inn, and he's got his kilt up, away from her, of course, peeing next to a tree. So that's the first time she sees her father.
That's nice.
And he, even though she tells him who she is, he kind of feels it anyway because she's the female version of him. She's got his red hair, and she's real tall, and stuff like that. So, but anyway.
So what book number is that? Are you in 5 or something yet? No, what are you talking about right now?
That's what I'm trying to say. Let's see, Voyager was when they were reunited. I do believe it's Drums in Autumn, where she comes and meets her mom.
And what book is that?
Drums of Autumn. That's the 4th one.
Oh, the 4th one. Okay, so you still have 4 more to go. Oh, Lord.
But anyway, I'm not going to tell you all now about them, but I am going to tell you about another author who I like. Her name is Diana Cosby. And she's got a series based on the Magruder brothers, and those are really good. Then that's not, they're going, you know, going through time and stuff like that. It's regular, being in Scotland, Jamie, and when they're going through in Voyager, you find out that he's in Hellwater, or at Hellwater, which is an estate in England. Lord John, who can't bear to be without not being able to see him, instead of sending him to the colonies like the rest of the Scottish prisoners, he made it to where he could parole him to this English place. And he would have to, you know, work like a servant there, which that is embarrassment as it is, because he is the Lord of Lollybrock in Scotland, right? But anyway, so he's there, and because he's a servant, he has to do whatever he's told.
Yeah, okay.
And this girl, Geneva, who is the daughter, one of the 2 daughters of the house, is getting ready to be married off to this real old dude, right?
Laura.
Let me just tell this part and you'll understand why this is all about Lord John Grey. So she goes to Jamie. Jamie was getting out letters to his family without anyone knowing, you know? Well, he was told he was allowed to, but he was also sending out secret ones, you know, stuff like that. But anyway, she found out. She found one letter, and she keeps it. And she goes to him, and she says, you know I'm being forced to marry this old man. And I don't want my first time being with this old dude. I mean, he's like, when I say old, he's like, it was 50s, 60s, right? She's only like 17, 18. So she blackmails Jamie into having sex with her. Which, as it turns out in the long run, she gets pregnant. Hi. So he's able to stay there because he ended up, in order to save the baby, he killed the old man after Geneva died, after she gave birth to him. So they tell him, you can leave if you want now. We can arrange it because you saved their grandchild's life, right? Yeah. They don't know that he's the father of this child. And so he says, that's fine, I'll just stay here. And he stays there intentionally so he can be around his child, which he ends up helping a lot, with taking him riding and whatever. But when William is 6 years old, it's starting to become apparent. He doesn't have the real red color hair, but it's starting to look.
Oh my God,
he's starting to look like the man who works in the stables.
Yeah.
And
who is Jamie?
Jamie, right.
Yeah.
Who they all know as Alex Mackenzie. But anyway, he's starting to notice that he really looks like him. So he decides, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and leave. And then Lord John Grey shows up the day that he's leaving. He says, so you're leaving? And yeah, well, I heard the little boy isn't happy you're going. And, well, I have to anyway. But he's already figured out this is Jamie's child. So he's there to get married to Geneva's sister and raise Jamie's child with Geneva's sister.
Okay.
So now Jamie's son, who he can't claim, is going to be raised by this man that loves Jamie.
Yes, well, oh my gosh, will you?
So he raises him, and they prevent this boy, in the last book he finds out, from knowing that James Fraser is his father. But to me, it's creepy that this guy, he decides, okay, I'm going to marry her so I can raise his child. Like in his mind, this is a child he and Jamie created. That's what irritates me about that character. I shouldn't say I don't like him. I say he irritates me.
Yeah, he's just a creepy guy.
Exactly.
Boy, it takes you an hour to get to
okay, so that's all that. But you brought it up.
We're not going into no more.
Diana Cosby is a good one. And Kenley McGregor, who is actually Cheryl Kenyon. Anyway, I love the series that Kenley McGregor does. My favorite of her books is Born in Sin. But anyway, so there you go.
Goodness gracious.
I will get back to telling you more
next
time about my Outlander series.
You have to make them shorter.
Boo.
Shorter synopsis, Laura. You're telling the whole dang book.
No, I am not. Each book is 900 pages long. There is plenty of stuff in between that I'm not
but you don't
about.
have to explain everything in detail.
Okay, well.
Look, you're putting the baby back to sleep.
Well, that's good for you, isn't it? Then you can do other things. Hey, baby girl. She was looking at Aunt Laura. She was sucking on her thumb while I was telling the story.
I know.
So now she's going to sleep. Okay, well, I'll tell the rest of it later. Oh, the 79 Ghosts of Culloden Moor.
Ghosts of what?
Ghosts of 79, the Ghosts of Culloden Moor.
Okay.
That's a good series too, if you want to read. But anyway, I'm done.
Yeah.
Until
next time.
Yeah, Diana Cosby's series, Magruder Brothers, Patrick's is my favorite.
Okay. Alright, well.
I'll let Miss Party Pooper over here say goodbye.
Well, that's not Party Pooper. I told you a synopsis, and you're telling the whole book. Goodness sakes. Now, if anybody's listening, they don't have to read the book. You done told them everything.
No, there's things I haven't told.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I hope y'all, I mean, there's spoilers if you haven't read the books, but...
Right. But, I mean, there's plenty of things, and I mean, the way Diana rates all this stuff, it's better in her words than it is in mine, anyway.
She's really actually going back to sleep.
She's trying to, yeah.
I think Aunt Laura was making her sleep.
And I would love to have my own Jamie. A man like that would be perfect.
Okay.
That's probably why I'll never get married. Because there's never a man like him.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Lord.
Alright, so Turn around. Oh,
Say
she's-
bye-bye. No, she'll wait. Say bye-bye.
Say bye-bye. I'm going to take a nap.
I'll see you next time, and I'll tell you some more.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.